hip-hop culture, with DJs and singing, graffiti art are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip-hop, you are hip-hop.
So the other day I was thinking about what we're willing to give up. How much are you willing to, and I'm going to use in air quotes, lose? Because I don't operate in fear. I operate in a place of, what am I going to gain? I've talked about fear and how it's not a motivator far too many times. As a matter of fact, it is one of the biggest drugs that is peddled right now, but I don't want to talk about that today. Let me stay on task. So I was watching the news, and I don't watch the news often, so it's really a clip of one of those mediocre men who was saying that if people dressed up, that it would help bring down the number of unruly incidents on airlines, right? People are flying. And I thought, wow, that's genius. Let's just dress better and get snazzy, and that will bring down the foolishness that we're seeing. Okay, that's not how it works. Can dressing better make you feel better when you're performing, like at a conference, giving a speech, going to work, working out? Sure, but that's not going to bring down what we see happening right now. I believe back in 2020, when the world was kicked in the throat, people didn't know how to respond. People who had never really focused on emotional intelligence didn't know how to react. And so they were quarantined for really good reasons, because it wasn't like it was a fluke. People died, okay? We had to let go of some loved ones and some friends, so it wasn't a fluke. But they came out, and because they had been in this place of solitude, they didn't know how to act. They forgot that when they came back outside, to bring their guest filter with them. Now, when I say guest filter, this is a very simple thing where, depending on where you are, you adjust your behavior to the environment. What you do at your house, you wouldn't do at someone else's house because you are a guest. When you're on a plane, you're sharing this plane with a whole bunch of other individuals who are not like you. So although you believe it is perfectly fine to take off your shoes and put your funky feet up on the, what do you call it? The armchair, what have you. And I've seen people do it in their car. It's like put on the dashboard. That's good for you and yours, but not in a public space. Just because you enjoy sardines and you love that scent does not mean that you should bring your sardines onto the plane and eat that in a closed place. Like, you don't even heat up fish and broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts in the office lunchroom, because that smell permeates the same way that you wouldn't do popcorn. It's a great smell, but it's also a distracting smell. It's a guest filter. And we don't have that. Not only do we not have the guest filter, we also are in this era of high entitlement. I don't have to really follow the rules. I'm in such a hurry, and my time is so much more important than your time, and I have some place to be, that I'm going to run this red light. Because although I'm crazy important, my life is not. My safety is not. The safety of my passengers is not. The people around me who are going to get hit by my car, their life is not that important. Neither is mine. This high level of entitlement that I can go wherever, say whatever, do whatever, and there is no consequences or repercussions. So I want to talk about this really quick, because I go back to a place of, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything. Right? And we have people who have adopted, in my opinion, the American way of life, which is so isolated. It's a silo way of thinking that it's all about me and mine, and screw you. It's all about me and mine. It's about taking and taking and taking, and everybody else can just kick rocks or step on Legos. But for those of us who are willing to not stay silent and understand that sometimes staying silent is a sign of agreement. I gotta think just a little bit of me thinks that if some of these people had been embarrassed, had been put on blast for their ignorant behavior, perhaps they wouldn't do it anymore, because it's not entertaining. You know, when enough people stand up and say, this is ridiculous and you can get yourself and get out, then you start feeling some kind of way. You do think about it. Now, you may be simple and it may not land the way we want it to, but you're going to start thinking about something. So I want to share this quick news story. I want to share it with you only because this got me to thinking a great deal about where we are and what are you willing to give up for the change you want to see. And hear me clearly, tension does not come without a little pain. That change you're looking for, that has tension, friction. That does not come without pain. So there was a story recently, and I shouldn't say a story, it was an incident, so pardon me there. I don't want to downplay this. But an 18-year-old Burger King employee named Matthew Jackson was tragically shot and killed in Jacksonville, Florida, after he tried to break up a fight between two men inside the restaurant. So this happened Saturday night, November 22nd, 2025, at a Burger King on Blanding Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida. The victim is Matthew Jackson. He's 18. He's a high school senior who was planning to join the Marines after graduation. And there was a man named Dawad Burrett, 28, who entered the restaurant and got into an argument with another man, Ray Cummings, 33. The argument escalated into a physical fight. Jackson, who was working at the time, stepped in to break up the fight. Burrett allegedly pulled out a gun and fired 2 shots. And what happened? Jackson was found dead near the drive-thru window. Cummings was wounded but survived. Now, Burrett was arrested. The following day, he was charged with second-degree murder, attempted murder, and armed burglary. Jackson's mother described him as a light, a protector, a soul who brought warmth into every room. Friends and family emphasized his courage and his dream of serving in the Marines. And Burger King, of course, said the company expressed deep sadness and said counseling support is being offered to employees. Now, here is what my co-pilot friend gave to me. Jackson's attempt to protect others reflects his character and his future plans to serve in the military. Now, we already know that there are 2 people here, 2 factions, 2 groups of people. Some people will say, that's why I don't get involved. We will literally drive by an accident, an incident, and act as if we see nothing, because it's not our problem. And then there are other people who are like this young man, who will see something wrong and say enough is enough, and is going to step in. Should he have lost his life? And I use the word lost in this case. No, he shouldn't have. Doing the right thing, stepping in to break an incident that should not be. You shouldn't have to be harmed by that. But he was willing to do it. He wanted to join the Marines. Now, the military is funny, because personally, myself, I took the ASVAB. I scored exceptionally well. No surprise. They came to the house, talked to my parents, talked to me, and I was like, I can't do the military. I have a really bad attitude. And I do have a bad attitude. However, what stood out was she has an attitude of servitude. She's a person who would put herself on the line for somebody else. If you were in the military, no matter what reason you have for joining, understand that somewhere on that list of reasons is the idea of putting your life on the line for someone else. You're willing to give that up. For whatever change you believe in, you're willing to give it up. So here's my question today. What are you willing to give up? Good day, good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, and you are watching Guuuuurl Listen. So, hello and welcome. Happy to have you here. If you're watching on LinkedIn, by all means, let me know that you're watching on LinkedIn. It's so interesting. Like people will watch but won't say anything. I don't know what, we got this whole like closet watcher thing. We got to cut that out, but that's for next year. But if you're watching on YouTube, hello and welcome to you too. If you have not, go ahead and like the video, share it with somebody else. And if you haven't, you can subscribe as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all that up there. And then also too, I would like to know where you're watching from. Like, where are you guys watching? Like, where are we watching? Let us know. As in me, myself, and I, let us know. So let me get back to it. Before I get too far into all the other things. Wait, pause, stop, time out. I forget, it's Friday. And it is time for TGIFF. That G is Fire Fridays. It's a new season. A new season has started on Indie Suit Media. We are going to have a second look at Guuuuurl Listen. That's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And then we have the new season of Ladies Listen Up. This is number 5. This is season number 5. We are going to really hammer in on doing the work. That's tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. So now that I got that commercial out the way, let me get back into it. Because people always have this idea of the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now I get it. Again, when you have an attitude of servitude, you're gonna put yourself in places and spaces that someone else would say, wouldn't be me. But we wouldn't be here if there weren't people like this young man who put his life on the line for the change he wanted to see. He wouldn't be here. Like, really think about it. If you take a look at our current living situation. Now, some people claim they're winning. I don't know what lies they tell themselves every day to keep that BS up, but it must be some good shit. Grocery prices are up, inflation is up. Just overall, the cost of living has increased. Civil rights are being eroded. But yeah, you're still winning? Cut that out, cut it out. At some point, we have to admit to ourselves that the crow that we need to eat, we got to figure out how we gonna cook it. Cause like, stop, full stop. But let me get back to it. The life we're living right now, some of us are waiting on a hero, heroine, Shira. We're looking for somebody to save us. But the fact of the matter is, the person who's gonna save you is you. That's the person. Now, everybody's not a fighter. I get that. Everybody's not a fighter. My brother was here the other day and he had me laughing because, I talk about how much I love myself. I talk about self-appreciation and self-love and how Gwendolyn loves her some G and how I will big up G and you can't tell me nothing because I already know that I'm beautiful and magnificent and the good Lord made no mistakes. And then I see my brother. Now I only have younger brothers. He's the first younger brother. And he said the exact same thing about himself. My parents, in my opinion, did a really good job, did an exceptional job on instilling in us self-love and care and character. They did that. because every now and then, like, there's this one weird egg in the bunch. You're like, what happened to that kid? But, for the most part, they did really well with putting certain ideas in our head that stuck, that serves us, even in this environment, continues to serve us. So we were born into a family where there were fighters. Mother and father with blackety-black parents, they were some fighters. Fought for not only themselves, but fought for others. My pops was on the job saying some stuff. The same way that I was on my job saying some stuff. You don't get where you want to go from being status quo. You don't. You don't. Now, is there a certain set of people who can be mediocre and like have the best life? That's not today's topic. Today's topic is this. What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to put on the line? Now, I don't see it as a loss, because if you want something better, you gotta give something up. What is that by Toni Morrison? Is it Toni Morrison? Hold up, let me find this quote really quick. Is it Toni Morrison who talked about giving up stuff? Let me ask my co-pilot friend, because he's so good.
Hey Gwendolyn, what's on your mind today?
Is there a quote by Toni Morrison that talks about giving up stuff to become better?
That's a nice thought, and it's definitely a lifelong journey. What area specifically are you thinking of improving in?
Well, no. I need you to find me a quote by Toni Morrison that spoke about giving up stuff to fly. Think.
Toni Morrison said it perfectly. You want to fly? You got to give up the stuff that weighs you down. That's a pretty powerful reminder.
Thank you. Now, I could have sworn she said you got to give up the shit, but I understand that my co-pilot friend can't use that kind of language. You got to give something up. You got to give something up if you want to fly, if you want to soar, if you want to go to the next level. So what are you willing to let go of that's holding you back? Something has to give. Now, I've said it. I've had my neck chopped off a lot of times at work because I just refuse to sit back and see something happening and not take action. I get that everybody's not going to do that. But maybe you're the person who will follow someone. Maybe you're that person. Maybe you're the person who's like, I don't want to be the first because I'm not the first kind of person, but I will support whatever you're doing. I will get behind it. I will put the wind beneath your wings. I will do that. But this is where we are. Now we're coming into a new year very soon. I am quite surprised. I made it here without pulling out my hair. But you know what? I stay in prayer. I stay in prayer and I stay in meditation and I protect my peace at all times. 6 minutes every other day of some news clips. I'm not gonna get into this BS. It ain't even worth it. Who is this talking to me? Oh, somebody else. It's not worth it. To get into some sort of doom scrolling. If we're still here, if you're still here, you're here for a reason. It's definitely not to be doom scrolling all day and doing the woe is me. That's not it. But again, if you want something different, what are you willing to let go of to get that something different? You can't keep doing the same thing you're doing. What is that? You can't use old keys to open new doors. I read that somewhere. That's not from me. I read that somewhere. But it's badass, ain't it? Isn't that telling? You can't use old keys to open new doors. Okay, let's bring it back. Because a lot of us, again, are waiting for the hero. We're waiting for some woman, because we ain't gonna lie. We know it's gonna be some woman, okay? When have women not stepped up to do what, no offense, men just won't do? I almost said something. It's always someone who's like, you know what, I'm so sick of this shit. Let me do something. Yeah. It's always a woman. But anyway, we're waiting for some woman to come save us. We're waiting for somebody to come in and say, okay, here's the way. Where is this charismatic leader? Where's the new Malcolm X? Where's the new Martin Luther King? Where is the new, that's you, partner. It's you. It's going to be us. It's going to be us. You know what I love about rabbits? And I know this sounds weird. What I love about rabbits, they're highly sociable animals. The rabbit warren, they love to gang up together. If you've ever seen any rabbits, just go out, find some videos. But rabbits will gather together and they will squeeze themselves into the tightest space possible. And they keep piling on each other. No rabbits left out. They're like, is there a spot for me? There's this, come on in here, come on in here. And they do things together. We can learn so much about animals. I mean, we are, in my opinion, one of the most destructive animals on the planet. I mean, you know, at least in this country, we are rolling back environmental protections. We don't want clean air. We don't want clean, pesticide-free food. We don't want asbestos to not be in our cosmetics. We just, because that's winning, deregulation helps us win. We're gonna kill off everybody and then wonder why the world is the way it is. It's like, I don't understand. How do I not have any customers? I don't get it. Where they all go? What? Listeria took them out? What? Yeah. We're waiting for someone to come save us. The question becomes, what are you willing to give up? Now, it's easy to say, well, look at your position. You're losing nothing. No. Mm-mm. Like I said, I remember writing my letter as an 18-year-old, telling the management team that the way they treated Black employees was not right. And it was flat out favoritism and some other isms. And I said, you know, we don't get together, it's gonna be war. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna walk you out now. Now that company's no longer in business for a lot of other reasons. But we don't have to take what people are giving us. Like, think about it, like the airline industry has, I mean, everywhere you look, they are nickel and diming their customers. They've taken out space for you to relax and be comfortable. And so you're agitated when you're on the plane because the seats are so close. They've shoved in the seats. You've got United Airlines telling people, just because you requested and paid extra for a window seat does not mean we have to give you a window seat. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Can you imagine if the masses just said, screw all of this. We're not getting on your sucky plane. What would they do? What would they do? Because without customers, you have no business. But we act as if I just have to give them my business. There are no other alternatives. Now, I didn't get the numbers, although I can. But there was an uptick in travel by train because of the shutdown and the chaos. And even after the shutdown, they were still looking to reduce flights. Okay, whatever. And again, there's no protection to give you any kind of accommodation when other things happen beyond, you know, this regime is all about the consumer. Yeah. What if you just didn't give them your money? You don't have to go to these places. You don't. There's options. It may be, as some people say, an inconvenience, but it's not inconvenience. I feel good knowing that I'm giving my money and my business to other small businesses. I feel good. And no, I don't have to go to these places. These are not things I have to have. I need clean air. I want food that's pesticide free. I am looking at getting myself a garden next year. Now, Gwendolyn has been a little sucky on the gardening, but I'm about to kick it up a few notches. My neighbor across the street has a beautiful garden. I'm gonna get with her to get some tips because I don't want all kinds of foolishness in my food. Start going to your local farmer because I don't know what they're doing. Gotta ask yourself, what are you willing to let go of to get this bountiful something? Because you're letting this BS go to get this. Like, I don't go to the nail salon. I was never that person anyway, so just go ahead and put that out there, full disclosure. But after 2020, I had to soak my nails for a very long time to get the gel and stuff off my nails. And my nails are extremely healthy again. Now, obviously 5 years later. But I do my own nails. And I don't do much because I'm not, I just need to have really nice clean nails. I put a little something on every now and then. But that money, that time saved, everybody got their something. Everybody has their something. That's not, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. It's not necessary. So ask yourself, that's the question. As you go into this next year, ask yourself that question. What about you? What are you willing to give up so that you can go fly? All right, so before I end this one, I want to share some news from my friends at the conference call.
Sup? Okay, so listen, that man right there, Chris, said that I had to record this, and so I'm just gonna do it. But it's super important what I'm about to say, but before I say it, I want you to hit the like button, and then I want you to hit the notification bell, and then I want you to hit the follow button or the subscribe button. And I'm gonna wait until you do it. Oh, you did? Okay, great. So listen, this is the conference call where we do recap shows of all your favorite shows. So what you should do now that you have subscribed and hit the like button and notification bell and some other buttons, what you should do is once you get them notifications, you tap that notification and then you come to our page and then you watch us talk about the shows that you like to talk about. Okay. So we done did Project Runway. We done did Drag Race, and who knows what is coming up because this is what we do. So we look forward to communing with you, talking with you, being with you, in the comments and such. You see, we got all kinds of shit going on. So be with us every week. Sometimes it could be multiple times a week, but come be with us, chat with us, and let's have a good time. All right, bye.
And while we're sharing news, let me share my own. There is G Photography by G. I am located in Arlington, Texas. But yes, I do travel because I have people that I service in Houston and we love a good travel photo session. So check out gphotographybyg.com to see what you can get. If you've got the senior, hey, this is the time to get on the books. And if you're thinking about Mother's Day, Father's Day, any kind of 2026 something, do not wait for the last minute. Go ahead and get yourself on the calendar now. And lastly, because I look good all the time, Glyphs Optical is where I get all of my eyewear. She is a small business. She's a young Black woman who is doing the things both physically in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and virtually. So check out Glyphs Optical online so that you can get yourself styled for the new year as well. I mean, who doesn't want to look good? And these are my readers, but they are delicious. I love these. Love my readers. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Hopefully I will see you in the interactive chat over on Indie Soup Media later today, 7 o'clock Eastern. Talk to you then.
Hey
Hey, it's G. Thank you for watching this episode of Guuuuurl Listen. Be sure to catch me every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And while you're here, I cordially invite you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all next week.